Welcome back, guys. This video is another 5 tips that I would have found useful when I first started playing StalCraft. I'm kind of learning these as I go, and as I accumulate them, I'm going to put videos out on them, try and help other people out. So the first one for this video is stay away from the borders of the map. Anywhere where you see this fog and there's a border, usually there's going to be NATO patrolmen, like that guy right there, and they hurt. Like, you see how fast he torched me. They pretty much are in all the borders. And if it's not them, there's a lot of mines and minefields out there that will kill you. And once you aggro these guys, it's hard to get back and get your body without dying to them again, because they seem to know exactly where you're at once you come back. And if you look, they're using red weapons, which are like top tier weapons, and they do a lot of damage. So just stay away from the borders if you can. I've wandered too close before when doing a courier mission when I had a backpack on that I needed to deliver somewhere, and I died probably 5 times trying to get back and get the backpack and get away from them. Just stay away from the edges. Tip number 2, you guys may already know this. I didn't, but if you hit the V key, you can change between firing modes on guns, if there are alternate firing modes. Obviously, this is the Tactical AKS 74U, so it has 3 different firing modes. You can do full auto, burst, or single shot, and you just cycle through them. Didn't know this until probably 4 days ago when somebody mentioned it. Would have been great to know, so that if you are at a distance, you can single shot and try not to waste a bunch of bullets, because from this distance, full auto really doesn't work that great. So you may have known that, you may not. I didn't, so I figured I'd put it in a video. There may be other people out there who don't. Tip number 3, if you want to know if a lost backpack you found is a bandit's or a stalker's, you can click on the backpack, right click on it, copy nickname, open up your PDA, go to your profile, and then click search for players. Now you can control V, paste their name in, confirm. This man is online. He is a stalker. It's a lot of steps to figure it out, but if you do want to know, is this a bandit's? Is this a stalker's? You can do that, and it will tell you. I've got 2 backpacks. That was a stalker's. This one is, let's see who this is. So PDA, profile, search, copy V, little gamer ghost, also a stalker. So if that's how you judge if you want to mail them back their backpack, or if you want to auction it back to them, that will let you know if it's a hostiles or if it's one of your own factions. Like I said before, I always mail them back because there's nothing I can do with them, which leads me into another sidebar tip on this one. I've seen a lot of people making this mistake, and I've personally made this mistake myself. When I first started playing, I saw the auction house, I saw these lost backpacks, and I was like, oh, that one's got 15 sticky roots in it. So I bought like 4 backpacks off the auction house, got them, and then realized I could not open them. Unless you're the owner, you cannot open lost backpacks. I've seen many people in chat in game asking, how do I open this lost backpack? You can't. Unless you're the one that owns the backpack, you cannot open it. So they are useless to you, aside from mailing them back, auctioning back to them for a ransom essentially. Or if you want to be mean, you can vendor them, but they don't vendor for very much. Let's just see how much they would vendor for. This vendors for 52 rubles, 65 rubles. So it's honestly not worth vendoring them. You'll probably get more if you mail them back, and the people are happy to get them back. I've had people send me 5,000 rubles just because I mailed them their backpack for free. So do whatever you want to, but in my opinion, just mail them back. 4th tip is about the armor plates. There's 3 different types. You have the steel, composite, and the ceramic plates. The steel lasts for the most amount of shots against you, but it also protects you the least. It only has 190 armor, and the absorption's only 20%. The ceramic one completely protects you. It's 100% damage absorption. It only has 75 armor, so it's going to break very fast. And a composite is a mixture. 50% damage absorption, but it has more armor than the steel plate. But it's pretty expensive compared to the other 2. I'm pretty sure it costs the most. It costs 384 rubles. The other one, ceramic's 256, steel's 123. So it's kind of a good in between, but it's going to cost you a little bit more. Me personally, I usually run composite plates, so pick your poison. All right. The 5th tip is about vortexes and black holes. Vortexes you can actually get out of if you're sprinting already and you're going in one direction. If you start trying to move more than one direction, it's probably going to kill you. But if you're sprinting, you can sprint through a vortex. I just sprinted through 2 right there. So if you get caught in a vortex, don't stop moving. Keep hitting the sprint button and go in one direction. All right, for black holes, if you get in there, you're pretty much dead because they lock you down pretty fast. But if you can type /suicide fast enough before it pulls you into the center, you'll drop a bag instead of it throwing your items everywhere. Because if you die to it normally, it rips your bag apart and you apart, and it throws your contents of your bag all over the place. Sometimes you can find it by the time you get back, sometimes you can't. But if you type /suicide fast enough, when you see that you're getting pulled into one, you'll die on the edge of it, so your bag will be far enough out you can loot it. Let's see if that worked. I've done it a couple of times, so I know it's possible, but let's see if it worked that time. But if your bag makes it to the center, like if you stay in the black hole long enough for it to position you to dead center, you will not get your bag back because it'll suck you in when you're trying. See, I'm safe on the edge. You can loot the bag, get all your stuff. It doesn't throw your stuff all over the place. That being said, you have to realize that you're in a black hole and type it in immediately. And granted, anybody else can run by and loot it too if they're brave enough to try. You just got to weigh your options of if it's worth it for you to try and get back and loot the bag, or if you would rather try to run back and gather up all your items if they're still there. I can tell you from personal experience, if you die all the way up in the graveyard or the forest, by the time you run back from the bar, your stuff is gone. I've yet to find any of my items, like my lost backpacks or anything else, by the time I get back to where I died. So that one's one that you can use if you're fast enough to typing it in, and it gives you a better chance of getting all your items back. You do have to rely on nobody else looting it though. So do with that what you will. This video has been 5 more tips I wish I'd known before I started. I'm putting these videos out as I accumulate them, so if you have other tips, please drop them in the comments below. If this helped you at all, you found any of this useful, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a good one.